Hey guys, I am coming to you with Senior Gold Ambassador Erin Martin. We're not related. I wish we were, but we're not. But Erin is a Senior Gold Ambassador on our team, and I just love working with her. She was living in Dubai when she first started Plexus, and I'm gonna let her tell her story, but just really cool how she was introduced to our team, and I just love working with her. She's one of those people that you see her, you just want to give her a big hug because she's just so sweet and just really cares for people. And he's constantly recruiting, building her business, and just somebody to really be admired in the business. And so, Erin, I'm super pumped to have you. Thanks for making time to share with us today. So if you will just introduce yourself and tell a little bit of your story up until when you joined Plexus and what led you actually to our team.
Sure. For a lot of people, when they hear about something alternative like Plexus or something natural, it might take them a few times to really see it for themselves. But for me, it was really an answer to a prayer. I've had migraines all of my life, but as I was getting older, I was actually getting them very frequently, several times a month, which means at least one day in bed. And then several days of really unwell. And then chronic fatigue. I was waking up tired after 10 hours of sleep, which was crazy. And then I was catching every single cootie that my kids were getting. So for me, I was losing time. And it was like slipping away from me. And I was only 35 years old. And I thought, surely this can't be the way. So when my sister, Casey, said, hey, I've heard really great things about migraines with this Plexus Slim. Give it a try. Honestly, yes, I was ready. I got introduced to Kelly, which is a friend of hers, and she also vouched. She had heard great and had great experiences with the product. So for me, it was like a no-brainer, and why not? So that's really my health background with it. And I saw changes very, very, very quickly to my energy and my sleep. So Plexus was a no-brainer. I did start right away as an ambassador. I didn't really know what it meant. Just I heard it had something to do with the best price and a possible business opportunity. And again, I was really open because I wasn't feeling good and I was unhappy with my job. And so I was open. I was already ready.
You're the good kind. That's the kind that we want more of. But most people are skeptical, unfortunately. Just a side note on the migraines, but that's why my sister joined as well. Horrible migraines. She took Topamax, which affects your memory.
Sure does.
So, and actually, she was using Topamax when she was pregnant with her second child because she didn't know she was pregnant. And just so anyway, so just that scared her, and so she was definitely ready for a change as well. So if you know somebody struggling with migraines, guys. Pain, our products target inflammation. That's what it does. So super glad that Casey shared that little.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So what date did you join?
So that was back in August of 2015. And at the time I was working, I'm a teacher, but at the time I was working as an online teacher and I was living overseas. And I liked that job because I was working from home. My husband's an airline pilot, so his schedule's really wacky, and I liked that I could work from home. But I really didn't like that I was working alone. I did interact with students, but I felt really isolated and I felt really alone. So I'd go up in my office and I'd be like all by myself. I had no one to really talk to or collaborate with. And so I quickly saw that Plexus was this whole world of new friends and new opportunities and self-development. And I could actually have the potential to make more than, this cutoff that a lot of industries have. And I always knew that I had more in me, but I would have to go into administration, and that was more schooling and things that I could never get to. And so I saw very quickly that Plexus had this limitless possibility if I was willing to do it.
Right, exactly. Well, that's cool. That's your story too, because I worked from home when I started Plexus, and it was a great job, but I miss that too. I miss being around other people and having that connection. So you get a lot of friends when you join Plexus. I tell people.
Yeah, you do. It's awesome.
Lots of friends, lots of friends. All right, so cool. So your senior goal, working towards Ruby. I'm super
Yes.
excited about that promotion.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, I was living overseas, and at first I was gung ho. I got some people to join my team, so I was feeling that immediate success. But around the first of this year, I kind of took a step back. I had some family members coming to visit us in Dubai because we were getting ready to move back to the U.S., and so they wanted their like final vacation, and so I just changed my attention and I focused on their visit. I was feeling a little self-conscious about them seeing me in network marketing. And so I just really put it to the side. Well, then my business went to the side, and I had a lot of folks that, weren't getting my attention. And so they just stopped with the products, and they just stopped caring because it looked like I stopped caring.
Yes.
So, and in my mind, I thought, okay, well, whatever. I'll just do it when I get to the States. Surely when I get to the States, then it'll be great. Well, that's what happened. If I think that, well, okay, well, down the road, I'll get to that diet. Well, down the road, I'll get to that business. Well, then that's what happens. And so I feel like when I did move here in July, I almost kind of had to start over in a lot of ways because, well, I had told myself, well, it'll happen when I move. And well, it did happen when I moved. But I did think that I was going to have to go back to work in a classroom when I came back to the States. And I didn't want that. So I got this like fire in me, and I was like, well, that's not going to happen. And I really got to work, and I saw results very quickly.
Yep.
So it was really the break. I suffered from stopping my business. But then as soon as I devoted my energy and my mind to it, I've seen huge, huge changes and growth to my business.
I love that you share that. It's mindset. I say that all the time, but it's also monkey see, monkey do. And if you have a team and you slack off, your team in turn decides to slack off, because we're leaders, we're not managers. So we can't sit back and tell people what to do. We have to show people what to do. And I think that's so important. And I'm so glad you learned that early in your career, and that's good. It takes, some people are a little further along and they stop, then their team stops and they're like, well, what happened? Well, you stopped. I mean, you're driving that train, keep driving it. So I'm glad you took the break when you did and came back fired up, and your mindset is right. And I mean, you're doing amazing things. And so Erin is consistently on the leaderboard for PV. Like her, she definitely keeps a good customer base. So Erin, if you will give us some insight on how you gain and keep your customers, like what is your follow-up, and how do you tell them what to purchase?
Well, I think it's all about getting to know that person and what their life is like. And, I mean, you have to go very deep actually to hear people's, worries and their what's bugging them and their energy level. I mean, people tell you their energy level, usually in the first couple sentences. So if you're listening to what they're feeling, it's actually easier to customize some products for them.
And it does come down to that. You have two ears and one mouth, and you have to listen to see what they're really looking for, like what is really going on. And you can't do that if you're not listening. So
absolutely. I've actually had more success talking to people out in the community. I'm very, very consistent with my social media. I am consistent about reaching out. But sometimes I feel a little frustrated with that lack of connection. And am I saying it right? And did I say the words right? And I can kind of get hung up in my own head. Did I do it right? And actually, when I'm out talking to people or I'm meeting people, that connection, we're building a trust, and it's a lot easier. Actually, I find face-to-face for me.
I'm the same way. I think that people can see who you are and see that you're vulnerable and you're just a real person. So love that. Now you also do a really good job recruiting, consistently recruit, which is why you're promoting. And so, how do you present the opportunity and sign up new ambassadors? Like, what's your follow-up, your involvement with your new business partners? Like, what does that look like for you?
I actually lead with the opportunity in the last few months. I've seen great success with that. So since I moved to the States, I've recruited 3 a month. And I go silver every month. I even recruited my husband finally after a year. Seriously, it took him a year. He's actually now taking the probiotics and the X Factor. And it's like, finally, we already own this stuff. But anyway, I digress. But he became an ambassador. We sit and collaborate now. It's a lot of fun. But I lead with the opportunity, meaning you're interested in these products, great. There's actually more to the package, and you could make some extra money. You can actually earn your products. If you join my team, I could help you figure out how to bring in some extra money. And I think when I kind of start it that way, it seems non-threatening. We're in it together. And joining my team sounds like a lot of fun. I make it so fun, and I think that people respond to that because they trust me. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They trust me.
I love that you mentioned, like, we can earn your products. Like, let me show you how to earn your products, because that in itself that's what got me. It was like, hey, like, you can earn your products. I'm like, wait, what? I don't have to pay for, because I wanted the products.
Right.
I never knew there was an opportunity. So you have to offer the opportunity in order to find the people that are going to do this. Not everybody's going to do it, but when you offer it, you know who might be interested.
Right, because money is a huge factor for everybody, and especially our products. Our products are so high quality, and that comes with a price tag that is not in everyone's budget, or that they could even imagine, paying for something so nice for themselves. Right. I have people who just say, well, I don't really spend money on myself like that. Mm-hmm. And so if they go, well, we can earn that, and then that won't be a cost in your budget. And it's like, oh, okay,
Right.
All right, maybe I'll give it a go.
Love that. Yes, definitely lead with the opportunity. That way you can always fall to the product. So opportunity, they say no to opportunity. Hey, you at least need the products, and then from there to the referral. So good. Love that, Erin. Mm-hmm. Love that you do that. All right. So you're busy. You're a busy mom. Your husband is an airline pilot, so he's gone, sometimes. So how do you juggle your Plexus business with your busy family life? Like, just give us 1 to 2 tips on things you can do.
Man, I should have an answer to that. I'm still learning this, Melissa, to be honest with you. It is a juggle, but I definitely don't watch as much TV. Mm-hmm. I used to watch everything on television. Everything. It was on, I could tell you what it was, because that's what I was doing with myself. Mm-hmm. I was also really tired, so that's all I could really muster up the strength to do. But I do a lot when my kids go to bed. Mm-hmm. I definitely spend at least an hour, really working on my business. Whether that is training, on Monday nights, or if that's just following up with people, because I know there's other people sitting on their couch looking at Facebook as well, or checking their email as well. So they're also kind of in a more relaxed way, where if I try to send things at 2:00 in the afternoon, most people are working their, at work, Mm-hmm. So I do try to hit the time, 6 a.m., usually hit the ground running and do a little something, make sure I post, noon, around lunch break, when people might be flipping through their phones, and then again at night would be my 2 tips. Less TV, and kind of be mindful of the times that people would be on their phone and available and focused to listen to.
Yes. Love the less TV, y'all. TV's not making you a dime. It's entertainment. And it's okay to watch TV. I watch TV too, but almost everything I watch is when it's convenient for me. I don't set my schedule around it. Mm-hmm. I'll never forget when they first started having Zooms on Thursday night. Thursday night was my TV night. That was Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy.
And I was like, I can't want to call on Thursday night, but I survived. I went a whole year and did not watch Scandal and Grey's Anatomy, and I was able to quit my job in that year. So, and now I can watch Grey's Anatomy every day if I want to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and now it's more enjoyable. I find the things that I go, well, I'm going to make time for this and this. I actually get a lot more enjoyment out of everything I do, because I actually have a plan for my day. I'm very, I have lots of lists and to-dos, and I really plan out my day. And I actually get a lot more out of my life than just kind of winging it like I feel like I was doing.
Well, that's a great tip, guys. If you're not writing down your day I mean, you're basically unemployed in your business. Like, you've got to have a list. I have a whole checklist sitting right in front of me right now. I work by a list every day. There may only be 1 or 2 things on there for me now, but I am working down that list. And Erin, does
Yeah.
good. See, it's okay. This is a pretty laid back thing. I see you looking. All right. So what has this opportunity meant for your family? Like, health wise, financial wise, like, what other things are you involved in now that you couldn't be if you were teaching in a classroom? Like, what does that look like for you this afternoon?
Well, for example, right now, my son, my toddler's in the other room. He woke up with a cough this morning, and I could have given him some medicine and sent him on his way. I didn't have to. That's what it means to me. It's having control over my life. When you have a flexible job, you can make flexible decisions. Like this morning, I decided 10 minutes before I was going to send him off to preschool, you know what, actually, you're going to stay home today, and you're going to rest, and you're going to relax. So it's the flexible job equals the flexible life, and I need a flexible life.
It's awesome, right? I mean, there's nothing like it whenever you've spent most of your adult life letting somebody else tell you what your day is going to look like. It feels good to not. You know, I hear some people say, oh, but this isn't work anytime you want. Like, you have to work. Yeah, it is work anytime you want, but you do have to work. You cannot make the money that we make and not ever work.
Right.
Like, I still work, but the reality is that yesterday I wanted to take the day off because my daughter came home from college, and I was able to do that.
Yeah, you didn't have to call in and fake sick.
And I didn't have to say, oh, sorry.
Or calculate how many days.
Yes.
If we do that today, then that means I can't do that. You know, you don't have to figure that out.
Yes.
You know, I bet, even if you took that day off, I bet you still were doing some work, Melissa.
Oh, always, honey. Always, because unfortunately, corporate America, you know, they let one person do the job of 3 people and still pay you the salary of a half a person. So, exactly. I mean, that was the reality.
Yeah, no, this is definitely work, but it's workable. And see, here's the thing: a lot of
that quote,
in our team are working 9 to 5, plus their husband, plus their kids, plus their mother, plus, and yet. There is still 24 hours. We all get the same amount, and there is still time. There really is.
I love that.
Creative.
It's work, but it's workable. That's good. Oh, that's good.
Hashtag workable.
That's good. Because it's the truth. I mean, we do all have 24 hours. So what are you going to do with those 24 hours? And you decide your time. I mean, there may be times where you don't get to go to girls' night out, or you don't get to have friends over for dinner. If it's a promotion month, I pretty much don't do those things. I mean, listen, when that bonus comes in, it's worth it. And then you have all the time you want with your friends. And you can even afford to take them out, which is even better. So that's good.
Seeing the vision. It's really imagining yourself the end result.
Yes.
To get that gets you through when you're like, I really don't want to reach out to 10 people today. You know, you really don't want to hashtag diamond bound, but when you know the end result, it can be so sweet for you.
Yes, it is. It's awesome. So one more, like a bonus question. Do you have one last tip or something you didn't get to share that you would like to share with everybody? Just anything to motivate, encourage, and maybe even step on somebody's toes. What is one bonus tip from Erin Martin?
Bonus tip. Goodness, I didn't practice this part.
It's hard to have one, but I'm sure you can come up with something.
You're worth it.
Yes.
It's worth it. I don't know. That's off the top of my head. I'm gonna come up with something better. I won't.
No, I think that
you're worth it. You know,
and worth it. That's it. That is a great tip, because so many of us are like, oh, but my kids need to do this, and oh, but I need to take them to do this. But you are worth this. Like, you are. Like, I love that tip. I think it's and I love the offensive answer. So. I appreciate you so much. I love what you do. You're a fabulous leader to your team. There, you lead by example, and that's what I love about you. And you're definitely a rock star. So thank you for all that you do for us, and thanks for sharing your wisdom.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.